Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Dark Powerrr, where we cover almost everything that happens on a Tuesdays when it comes to AEW Dark and UWN NWA. Now, I don't know 100% when exactly we're going to get new UWN matches. At the time of recording, I checked on their Twitter, and I didn't see any news regarding UWN Primetime Live coming back. That's not to say that we're not going to get something soon, but as of right now, we don't have anything. They were talking about Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, so maybe I'll start checking out some of those and seeing if they are up to snuff for us to talk about here on Dark Powerrr. They will be up to snuff, but they just don't happen on Tuesdays, which would ruin my wonderful catchphrase of almost everything that happens on Tuesdays, but we will see. Besides that, guys, we do have a pretty good episode of AEW Dark to get to, so right before we do that, just remember, as always, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. We loved talking with you guys, we love being able to interact with you, and we love just knowing that people are watching, knowing that we are shooting out these digital transmissions into the void, and people are receiving them, people are hearing them, and even if they're not necessarily appreciating them, they are spending some time with us, right? So thank you guys for that, as always, and let's get straight to this episode of Dark. There are a couple things that stood out to me on this episode of Dark, the first of which was Jungle Boy's new theme music, which they said on commentary was Tony Khan's present or gift to Jungle Boy for Christmas, which I thought was really funny, but also good. It's always good when you have very, I guess, personalized music. Obviously, everybody has personalized music, yeah, but there's a certain thing when there's recognizable music, right? Like, and sometimes that takes time when it comes to certain themes. Now I know they made the song for him, but take Kingdom by Downstate. That song was made for Cody, but it only really becomes Cody's song after some time. However, you can hear, for example, CM Punk. Killswitch Engage's This Fire Burns came out before CM Punk started using it, but it was identifiable. And people, you hear that music. Also, sticking with CM Punk, Cult of Personality, right, by Living Colour. That was a famous song for many years that when it came out, but when he started using it, it was identifiable. And it also adds a certain element to the show where you hear something and you recognize it and you identify with that person. You know that person is coming out. Anywhere in any wrestling arena, venue, show, whatever you want to say, even if it's a backyard, you play the sound of glass shattering and people are immediately going to think, is Stone Cold here, right? Or if you smell, like, just different things like that. So having and with this, it 100% with his character, the Tarzan yelling, or yodeling, however you want to call it. But Jungle Boy picking up a good win over Nick Comoroto. I liked the Scorpio Sky Ariel Levy match. I liked the Ivelisse Diamante versus Kylan King and Tesha Price match. The Matt Sydal Baron Black was also something that kind of stood out to me because of Sydal's match with Cody Rhodes the next night. We know what's going to be happening with New Year's Smash Week 1. And I really enjoyed the Thunder Rosa Ashley Vox match. Those are two people who I've seen live. Ashley Vox, as part of Sea Stars, has been at Freelance Challenge for the Tag Team Championship. Obviously, you guys know I've many times talked about how the greatest women's match I've ever seen live was Thunder Rosa versus Jordynne Grace at a Freelance show. So that was a really great treat, being able to see that. The Acclaimed and Lee Johnson and Sean Dean was also good. And although the last three matches were very, very strong, but before I get into those, I do want to talk about arguably one of the moments of the night, which was when Marko Stunt comes out to talk about some issues that are there between him and Negative One. Negative One, Brodie Lee Jr. comes out, and this kid is, I gotta say, for being 8 years old, he's a natural. He can cut a promo. You know, he's got a couple things that he's got to learn, but I don't know if he just learned a lot from his dad or what the case may be, or it just runs in the Huber bloodline. But he is very good, and when he was cutting that promo on Marko Stunt, he raised some very important points. Marko Stunt only wins when he's in a tag match, ladies and gentlemen. And one day, -1 will be taller than Marko Stunt. I mean, have you seen his dad? So he will be able to easily dispatch of Marko Stunt, and then just the hilarity of having Cody and TK and other people from the back come to have to hold the two of them back. I thought that was really great. And so now talking to our final three matches, the four-way where it was a member of the different teams, so it was Frankie Kazarian, Angelico, Darius Martin of Top Flight, and Griff Garrison of the Varsity Blondes. That was a really great match. I liked that one. Sammy Guevara versus Nakazawa was good, not necessarily because of the match, but the after-match promo from Sammy Guevara stating that once again his goals for the new year are, as they always have been, to be on top, do the same things over and over again, make people remember him, make people know his name. That's something that's always important. We're starting to see it's not, I guess it's less and less of a heel and more of that confident face who is backing up what they're talking about, right? It, for some reason, it just comes off a little differently. And maybe they are keeping him heel as part of the whole Inner Circle heel situation, but it seems as though there is maybe more and more of that possibility that Sammy Guevara could be leaving the group, could be turning on Chris Jericho and MJF and Wardlow and the rest of the Inner Circle. And we shall see. They do say everything is fine, right? They do say everything is fine in the Inner Circle. Then finally, the main event, which was 5 Allen Angels taking on Serpentico of the Chaos Project. Now, what I thought was really interesting about this was something that they highlighted on commentary was everybody in Dark Order had a match on that episode of Dynamite, the tribute show, except for Allen Angels. And he had a almost more important duty of safeguarding -1 at ringside. So here they did right by him and gave him the main event of AEW Dark. Maybe it's not a Dynamite match, but you know, they didn't forget about him, which is always important. And here he has a good showing with Serpentico of Chaos Project. You kind of know what's going to happen regardless. 5 picks up the win, and then -1 comes out for the second time in one night and cuts a really hilarious promo. At first, when he was doing this thing, it took me a second. I was like, what is, and then I remembered that's what Luther does. And he starts cutting a really great promo on Luther. His delivery, his timing does need a little work. You know, the kid's 8, but for an 8-year-old, he's cut an amazing promo. And just what he's saying about -1, we're saying, you know, you just got a red ball in your head, and that's dumb. I've got a brain. I'm always going to beat you because a red ball is stupid, and you'll never beat the Dark Order. And it's something hilarious because it's so simple, straightforward, to the point, but it's also just like, wow, that's actually pretty funny. So great work yet again from -1, arguably the promo MVP. He even showed up Sammy Guevara, the promo MVP of the night. But guys, this was a really good episode of AEW Dark overall, just because of how it carried on the themes of the night, the tribute show for John Huber, for Brodie Lee, and it was a good feeling. It was a very good show in that sense. Had just a little bit of Dark Order in the key spots, right, in the key places, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with AEW Dark. I'm looking forward to more news about AEW Elevation. I want to know how exactly all of Dark is going to fold into Elevation, what exactly is going to be the differences, the distinctions, because it's not just what the shows have in common, it's also what the distinctions are, what the differences are, because the differences are important. There's a reason why you want to watch Dark and Dynamite. I mean, for me, it's because I just enjoy wrestling, and I want to see exactly what they're doing on Dark and how that's setting up stuff on Dynamite. But as they start to differentiate the shows and have different things on different shows, that's going to be what helps. That's the hook, right? That's the hook to tune it in. It's the same way for True Heels, for all of us here. All of us have different styles of review. All of us have different styles of commentating. You know that if you like hilarity and a lot of weed smoking, you go to Chris and Ness, right? If you like interesting perspectives, you tune into Wednesday Night Warriors. If you like pretty laid back, just this is what's happening, and this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and how can they improve from a business side of it, you come to me. There's different aspects that we all talk about and we all like to focus on. That's the hook. And seeing how they're going to do that with Dark and Elevation, that's something I'm looking forward to. And that's something I'm also looking forward to when it comes to UWN coming back, as well as the NWA. But guys, my time here is drawing to a close. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys next week with another edition of Dark Powerrr. But until then, stay safe. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and speaking of hooks for shows, make sure you check out Review of Honor, where myself and my co-host Ness, we cover everything that happens in a Ring of Honor ring. So until next time, guys,